Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Smith of the In the Black VTF here at www.t3live.com with today's market wrap up, which is also the week's market wrap up. And we end on a positive note here with the SPY going here. You can see, let's shrink this down just a bit, going out to the highs of the week to finish it off. Wasn't as broad based as it might appear, but we did get up into here. The problemo here is that we do still have this series of three lower highs here. So if we start crapping out next week, it's right back in, and that's not outside of the realm of possibility because we are still inside month, and anytime you're consolidating, things can turn around on a dime. But we do close near the highs. We also went inside week and up, and I talk about the inside bars a lot, obviously, but you can see also the downtrend of the weekly is still a little bit higher, so even if it pokes up there, certainly want to be aware of that, but we'll take it. If we go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, talked about them the last few days, not yet taking out the inside week, and we got an extra little push from the Dow here to take out the inside week, but still within this outside week's range. And so until we take that out, we're still inside of this big outside bar. So there's still some work to be done. We've got a lot of earnings coming out, and that's certainly going to make a difference. As you can tell here, as I'll show you some tight consolidations coming in front of earnings, I'll tell you what. But the first thing I talk about looking for is how are we going to play the gaps in the morning? And we had some real beautiful ones here. Netflix gaps up, and Netflix was a little tricky. It gets up into here, comes back and fills, so we're looking for that opening range to get taken out, but then it backs and fills. The good part about this is we can look towards this as being a higher low than that. Inside 15 here, which at that point is green on the month. It's an inside week break to the upside, goes inside 15. At that inside 15 here turns the opening here, turns the color of the day green, the 60 green. So there was ways to get in there. There were some other ones that were a lot cleaner from what I talked about in the morning. CTXS, gap in reverse. Here's your inside 15 bar. Takes the inside 15, never looks back, walks all the way up, and there was plenty of other entries in there. That was beautiful. If you go to Chipotle, oh yeah, right out the chute, opens and just starts running. And so when you have something that's going to have a huge opening range or just starts moving after the opening, first of all, you can look at this 15, and even if you missed it, up, inside 15 or here, and there was still plenty of meat on that burrito off that 15, and when it was really running in the morning, here, had some of the folks with me grab themselves something like this. I said when things are really moving, you can break it down to the 1, 3s, 5s. Inside 3 right here, broke above at 672.27. And so there was still a real lot of meat on those burritos on that one. So that was a nice gap and go. The CTXS, a nice gap and reverse. Netflix, a little delayed gap and go. And then we also had MDCO, which went very nicely off the inside fiver here. Let's shrink that down so you can see it. So this is a little tutorial on how we get those gappers in the morning. Inside 5, pow, right back up, and so that worked very well. However, the big kahuna of the day, if you will, was GE. Talked about that in the morning too, and this was just absolutely gorgeous. Lot of entries in here. I talk about the inside 5s, and I talk about reversal strats, and you can see a whole bunch of them in here. You can see this inside 5-minute bar here, and then even if you missed the whole thing, because there was tons of inside bars, you can see this corrects inside 5, pow, corrects inside 5, pow, and then here. When I talk about the reversal strats yesterday, and to get you an idea of how and why that works, obviously this thing was just dishing out the pain on the short side. And so when you got this corrective action here, it goes inside 5. It tries to break down but rejects that break and comes right back up. There's another hammer within the inside bar. That's the reversal strat 5. Boom. And even right there, there's still a little meat on those bones as well. So there are certainly some nice ones. And even if you're not going to trade that fast, I'm like, Rob, I'm not going to watch the 1ers and the 3ers and 5ers. I'm 200 years older. I just don't feel like doing it. GE also gave the inside 60 right here. You had 2 hours to sit there, and as soon as it broke that inside bar there, it was on. And I talked about being able to use the options as far as directionally trading or to create synthetics, and certainly plenty of options to be had here, and it was trading like water, and there was a lot of beautiful couple entries there, just outside of a ton of others, but right there made it very simple to get on that, and so certainly a good day there. The other good thing about GE is that we didn't have to hear about the Apple Watch all day, but Apple did take out that inside week and re-break that up. There was a little bit of strength in Apple, not too much to write home about, because once again, you still have this inside month that needs to resolve. And so until that breaks, you can tell even on the daily here that it's still really nothing significant until you can take that out, or even that out, or even that out. It's still just tightening and consolidating. So we'll see how that goes next week. And also we had the VIX products. I talked about the SVXY ripping, and that was really nice off the inside week break here. Coming up through that, that gives a VXX, my favorite, personal favorite, with the momentum weekly shooter here. When I talk about momentum hammers, so this triangle here becomes the consolidation area, and the momentum shooting star down, and just new all-time lows for the VXX. So hopefully we can soon get to another announcement for a reverse split and get that back up where it needs to be so it can fall back down. But overall, you had to be in the right spot, and if you weren't, that things really dried up, because I talked about watching that crude oil inside day, and USO goes inside day, so there was almost nothing going on there. I wanted to see if that Wells Fargo and Blackstone having anything to do with GE would get the financials going. Certainly didn't. FAS closes as an inside day and stuck in this range to start off earnings season, which sounds about right. TLT inside day doing nothing. You had Home Builders XHB as an inside day doing nothing. You had XRT Retail inside doing nothing. So you really wanted to be in the good spots. And we had some pockets of strength here in the IBB. And for a time, you could see how it was just walking slowly but sure, but just walking up this 30. Semiconductors SMH was doing the same, just a slow walk. So you want to just be in the right spots, and you can look at the REITs, the VNQ. The VNQ was having her problems most of the day here, if the gap up and then crapping back down. So good spots there. So coming into next week, at least as far as the Dow Jones is concerned, I want to look at some of these inside weeks that are left over, and you're going to have Merck. Nike is an inside week. You've got McDonald's as an inside week. You've got Utex as an inside week. You've got DuPont. And so in a nutshell, did we close on the highs? Yes. Is that good? Yes. However, these inside months still need to break, and with earnings season right around the corner, or should I say significant earnings season right around the corner, it appears that because of these tight consolidations in FAS and stuff like that, we're going to have a lot more evidence as earnings hit the tape. And until then, we might just wallow and consolidate. However, the SPY did show some nice strength with a lot of things doing nothing, and so that is possibly a good sign. And you're like, well, what are you saying, Rob? I'm saying I don't know. I'm going to hit the books this weekend. I make a long video for my people here on the weekend breaking down everything. But for the most part, we want to watch for those inside months to break, and you want to watch the tight consolidations in those Dow stocks to see how the diamonds are going to be, and certainly the earnings and the financials. All right, that's going to do it for this week. I hope everybody had a good week. I certainly did. Looking forward to a good weekend. All right, that's going to do it. I'm Rob Smith of the In the Black VTF here at T3Live.com with today's market wrap-up.